Hey viewers, this is E36 Fanatics, and today I'm going to show you how to replace a downstream O2 sensor on a BMW E36. So now I've got the car jacked up. As you can tell, it's a good ways up in the air, just so I can be pretty comfortable with working underneath it. Don't forget to pull up your parking brake when you're doing this. Okay, so fortunately for me, this car only has one post-cat and one pre-cat. Now, like I said earlier, I'm changing the post-cat today, which is this one right here. You can see it really easily from under the car. It's just right past the catalytic converter. And then you've got the pre-cat, which is right over there, which is right ahead of the catalytic converter. This car is really easy to work on compared to the 328i I have for O2 sensors. They put the O2 sensors on the 328i on top of the exhaust and made it really much harder to reach. But on this car, it's really easy and it'll basically take a couple minutes. So really, you need very simple tools for this. I just took my 22 millimeter wrench, and you got to put a lot of force on it for the first to break it, but after that it turns by hand virtually. And then I don't really worry about the wire on this one because obviously it's old and being replaced. So, and here's what an old post-cat looks like. See, it's covered in black, really. It's not too pretty. It's ready to go. So after removing the post-cat, or the post-cat sensor, you've got to follow the wire up to its connection point a little right here. So basically what you do is you just take a screwdriver and open up these little levers to get this black cover off, and then pull the wire out, and then you're done removing it. Then it's time to install the new one. Okay, so I changed my mind. I'm actually going to do both the rear and the front O2 sensor on this car. But so I've pulled off the rear one now, and you can see how it's connected. It's just a little bit, you just follow the wire bracket down to here, and you can see where it's connected. This is much easier than my 96 328i. It's a real headache to get to the front sensors on the 96 328i, but this is nice. So it just connects right here, and you can see how it's connected. It's got these two clips that hold it in. A word of caution: these two clips, you know, this car is a 98, so it's almost 20 years old, and this is plastic, so, and it's right beside the exhaust. So over time it heats up, and this connection right here, the plastic on this, will melt to the two tabs right here. So if you're having trouble getting it off, take a screwdriver and get under those tabs, and get under those tabs to kind of break away the plastic, because that might be your issue, that it's melted together. So now I'm gonna finish up with the front O2 sensor, the pre-cat O2 sensor, which is right up here, and this one's equally very easy to get to. You got it going into right here, and so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take a screwdriver to, unless I can just get out my hand, and yes I can, get it out of that tab just with my hand, and then you've got it running up to here, which might have to work with it for a minute. so you can actually get it out, get the connection out by hand. And I tell you, I'm just so happy how easy this is compared to the other car. The other cars, the bigger 6 cylinders are ridiculous, at least the older E36s. And so I got the same thing here with this connection, and here's I've got the same issue. It seems like the plastic is melted. Maybe it's not as bad on that one. But so I'll just take a little flathead screwdriver and get under those 2 tabs to unlock it. Then pull this right out, and I'm done with pulling out these sensors on this car. Okay, so you can see the O2 sensors on this car, and as you can see, they're ready to go. Man, they look rough. This is what 120,000 miles will do to some O2 sensors. These were definitely ready to go. Now on this car, you can see the front O2 sensor, this is the pre-cat, is much shorter than the post-cat, which is pretty long. Just, you remember that for when you replace these things. However, I will remind you that depending on the model car you have, it can be different. The locations can be different. On the BMW E36, the locations can be different. The length of the wires can be different, and then the amount of O2 sensors you have can be different. This car luckily only had 2, but my 328i has 4, and the sensors run all the way up to the motor instead of having a connection on the bottom like this does. This is a much better way of doing it. So now I'm going to go pick up the 2 new O2 sensors, and I'm going to show you all how to replace them. Okay, so got my replacement oxygen sensor, NTK. Pretty good brand. These are expensive as anything, unfortunately. And here is the new sensor. As you can see, it's got anti-seize on it. The sensor actually came with anti-seize already on it, so I didn't have to apply any. But if it didn't come with anti-seize, go ahead and apply some. As you can tell, it's brand new, looks really good. So I'm gonna go ahead and go onto the car and install this. Okay, so at this point I'm working on the upstream O2 sensor, which is right here, right past the catalytic converter. I'm putting in the new one, and basically what I start off doing, because all I got is this 22mm monkey wrench, which is very long. What I do is I just hand turn it until it's tight, and I start off putting it into the exhaust first, so that way as I hand turn it, I can turn the wire with it so it doesn't get bunched up. And then I just tighten it with a monkey wrench, and then I actually start attaching it to the wire harness right here. So I've now got it in here. The issue I have with this one, however, is that this wire is way too long for this short connection. Unfortunately, it's way too long. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to zip tie it, because these cars, I think the store where I went to, nobody could get their hands on a short O2 sensor for this car for a couple days, so I decided just to use a long one. So I'm just gonna zip tie it. So what I did is I zip tied it here, and it's okay to zip tie the wires like this. I know it looks a little messy, but it's okay to do that. I zip tied it here on the downstream, and then here I really had a lot of extra wire, so I zip tied it here. You just want to make sure that you don't zip tie it too close to the exhaust. You don't want it too close to the exhaust.